God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. God, you are my peace. Peace is what you are. God, you are my love. Love is what you are. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. My joy, my peace, my love. My joy, my peace, my love. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. Yeah. God, you are my peace. Oh, peace is what you are. God, you are my love. Oh, love is what you are. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. My joy, my peace, my love. My joy, my peace, my love. God, you are my strength. Strength is what you are. God, you are my help. Oh, help is what you are. And God, you are my life. And life is what you are. God, you are my joy. And joy is what you are. You are my joy, my peace, my love. 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 God, you are my joy. Oh, yeah, yeah. Na, 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 na. God, you are. Oh, you are. You are, you are. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. God, you are my peace. Peace is what you are. God, you are my love. Love is what you are. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. My joy, my peace, are. God, you are my joy. Joy is what you are. My joy, my peace, my love. My joy, my peace, my love. God, you are my strength. Strength is what you are. God, you are my help. Oh, help is what you are. And God, you are my life. And life is what you are. God, you are my joy. And joy is what you are. You are my joy, my peace, my love. My joy, my peace, my love. My joy, my peace, my love. My
Hello, hello, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. It is so very good to be here with you on this Sunday morning as we gather together to celebrate the magnificence and significance of the presence and power of God operating, flowing, moving, activated in, through, and as each and every one of us. Let us begin, as we always do, with prayer. And I want to ground us in a reading today from the Daily Word. The word today is inspired, and the affirmation, my words and actions inspire others. Today, I reflect on the clear vision, powerful words, and courageous actions of leaders like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I appreciate how one person's example can inspire so many others to move beyond thoughts of limitation and focus on the possibilities for good that are always present. Inspiration can be thought of as the breath of God. I, like all people, am made in the image and likeness of the divine. I give thanks for people I have known whose vibrant faith and love, even in the midst of challenging circumstances, have inspired me. Guided by my divine gifts of imagination and zeal, I join with those building a world where each person lives freely and with joy. And again, the affirmation, my words and actions inspire others. So from this place of awareness, I invite you to get still, stop what you're doing, close your eyes, and let's take a collective breath in right here and right now. And we exhale, relaxing in the moment, centering into the moment. We breathe in and we breathe out. Sinking deeper in mind, sinking deeper in love, sinking deeper in peace. We breathe in and we breathe out. Right here and right now, I remember and recognize that there is only one mind, only one power, only one presence that is working in all, through all, and as all. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect, whole, and complete. That life is my life now. That life is your life now. That life is all life now. It is the life of every galaxy, every planet, every star, every moon. It is the life of every grain of sand and every blade of grass. It is the life of the trillions of cells that make up the body that is yours. It is the life of you. It is the life of me. It is the life of every insect. It is the life of every cloud. It is the life of every being. And it is our life now. I recognize as God is, and God is one. I know that God is always right here, right now, for God neither comes nor goes. Love neither comes nor goes. Freedom neither comes nor goes. Inspiration neither comes nor goes, but is always right here, right now. That means that the seat that you occupy is filled and overflowing with God's substance. That means that the seat that I occupy is filled and overflowing with God's substance. That means that this digital connection that connects us is filled and overflowing with God's substance. There is no spot where God is not. And from this place of awareness at which we recognize that God is, and God is right here, right now, we recognize that we are, for we are one with God and one of God. We are God's good idea. We recognize that we can never be separate from our source. We recognize that we are rooted and grounded in the divine, rooted and grounded in divine intelligence, rooted and grounded in divine wisdom, rooted and grounded in divine love, rooted and grounded in divine sufficiency, rooted and grounded in divine supply, rooted and grounded in divine abundance. We can never be separate from our source. And so it is from this place of awareness that I speak these words of faith on my behalf and on behalf of each and every soul that is listening now and at any point in the future. We know and recognize that the weekend service of Celebration Spiritual Center is enlightening and enlivening. We know that the weekend service of Celebration Spiritual Center is prosperous and prospering. And so right here and right now, we know and declare that we will leave here differently than when we walked in. We will leave here enlightened and enlivened. We will leave here prospered and prospering. We will leave here happy, healthy, and wise. We will leave here in joy. I am so grateful and thankful for the consciousness of Celebration Spiritual Center. I am so grateful for the lighthouse that Celebration Spiritual Center is. I am so grateful for the wisdom and joy and abundance that comes as a result of being plugged in and tapped in to this consciousness. So with joy and thanksgiving, I release this prayer. I release it back into the law, which is always in operation. And I know that it is responding and becoming to us according to the pattern of thought that we provide. This pattern of thought that we have provided is good, is joyous, is prosperous, is abundant. So with joy and thanksgiving, we lift up our voices and we say, amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is, and so it must be. Well, hello again. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is so good to be here with you. I'm Pastor Greg.
I'm Pastor Yolanda.
And we are happy to be here with you on another Sunday as we are enjoying and loving the month of January. It's moving quickly. It is the third Sunday. And of course, we are just continuing to know prosperity, prosperity, prosperity in, through, and as all things in 2025. If you are a first-time guest, hello, welcome. We're so happy that you chose to join us on this Sunday. We know that there are many services that you could stream. We know that there are many ministries that you could connect with. And so we're grateful that you chose to connect with CSC on this Sunday. Now, if you are a first-time guest, we would love to stay in touch with you. And so the information you see here on your screen is how to access your digital connection card. Just text the word welcome to that phone number, 347-472-1078. Just the word welcome, no additional messages needed, and you'll receive a reply with a link. Click that link and it will, you'll go to the digital connection card. We just need your name and your email address, and then you'll be added to our mailing list. This is your way to stay in touch with us and for us to stay in touch with you, keep you abreast of all the things that are happening at CSC. What we are confident in and know that as surely as you are here, there's something that brought you here. And we're confident that something will be done, something will be said that will support you in your life, that will support you in living an empowered life and continuing to thrive in your life. We love to say that when you come to CSC the first time, you're a guest, and when you come back, you're family. And so we trust that you will come back again and join us in the weeks to come, because we have so many wonderful things happening here at CSC. Now is a wonderful time for us to tap into our news and updates so that we can move forward with the meditation experience, the music, and the message. It is MLK Day weekend. That is the only thing that I'm acknowledging this weekend.
Absolutely.
That's happening. And so we have deep, deep love for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all that he represents, all that he represented. What's so powerful still in 2025, his words resonate as if he's observing what's happening in the world today or in this country today and speaking directly to what's happening. We encourage you to not just contemplate his words, but maybe tap in, read one of his speeches, watch interviews, bring the focus of your attention back on the love that poured through this beautiful soul as it continues to love us in powerful and amazing ways here in 2025. Today is the third Sunday, which means it is God Talk Sunday. The God Talk is your opportunity to ask questions. The God Talk is really a wonderful way for you to grow and expand. What I've continued to see over the years is that those that take advantage of this free opportunity of the God Talk and are willing to ask questions, knowing that no question is off limits, knowing that the only wrong question is the question you don't answer, right? The only ask rather. The only silly question is the question you don't ask. Those that are willing to ask questions, we watch you grow and expand in so many ways because we recognize that this new thought spiritual path, this metaphysical path, it requires a lot of unlearning and will bring up a host of questions. And so one of the things that has always been important to Pastor Yolanda and myself is to support you all in crossing over that bridge as seamlessly as possible. Right? Each of us had to do that on our own in different ways. And so one of the things that really inspired us to co-create Celebration Spiritual Center was to be a space that guides folks over the bridge, because there wasn't a bridge when we were coming over, right? So this is part of what the God Talk is really all about. It happens via Zoom, and so if you're already on our mailing list, in our weekly email that goes out on Friday, the Zoom link is there. But if you're hearing about this now and you want to join, you'll see the information again to join our mailing list. When you join our mailing list, today by texting welcome to the phone number 347-472-1078. And you will then receive an email with the Zoom link and password. Final reminder, it is 2025, so we do have a new Zoom link. We shift the energy as we move into the new year. So please make sure you're going to the latest email and getting the correct Zoom link. Next Sunday is Healing Sunday. Healing Sunday is all about putting the focus of our attention and recognition that healing is and healing is possible for each and every one of us. We have so many wonderful testimonies and prosperity reports and love stories within our community of healing that has taken place over this past year. We are going to continue to just dig even deeper into the reality and knowing that healing is possible, healing in our bodies, healing in our minds, healing in our relationships, whatever type of healing you need or expression of healing, I should say, that you're seeking, you want to be in the place on next Sunday. And also you can invite anyone that is seeking healing to join us for that Healing Sunday treatment. We are in weekly prayer this month as we are beginning the year, sowing seeds of truth, sowing seeds of knowing. And so we are gathering together Monday through Friday for the month of January for the Momentum Prayer Call. Normally, the Momentum Prayer Call happens only on Wednesdays, but we're continuing this vibration and we are using the text 60 Meditations for a Mindful Life by Ernest Holmes. You want to tap in. The momentum is increasing. I love the snowball effect of daily consistent prayer, and we are definitely feeling it, and there's more to come. 2024 giving statements have been sent out via email to all that gave in 2024. We appreciate and are in deep gratitude for your giving, for your support of the mission, vision, and purpose of Celebration Spiritual Center. So check your email. You will see that when you see the statement, you'll see the subject will just say 2024 giving statement. What's most important, go down to that button that says download my statement. So your statement is not actually attached to the email. For security reasons, you have to click that button and download your specific statement. Also, it's important to note that that button, for security reasons, that will expire at the end of the month. So please make sure you download the statement, whether or not you're going to do your taxes soon, right? You have a lot of time to do your taxes. Make sure you grab the statement because you will not be able to download it after January 31st. If for some reason you missed this or you're not able to download it, please send an email to giving support at celebrationsc.org with any questions or concerns, or if something seems inaccurate, whatever it may be, please send an email to giving support at celebrationsc.org so that we can address it in a systematic and timely manner.
And make sure you check your spam folder just in case.
Yeah.
If it's not appearing in your inbox, that might be where it is, so that we have that information when you reach out to us as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. All great winners have great coaches. If you're looking for support in 2025, PY and I are available. We have openings to work with folks one-on-one. Again, for those that are interested, if you would like to work directly with Pastor Yolanda, you can send her an email, pastoryolanda@celebrationsc.org. And if you would like to work with me, you can send me an email at pastorgreg@celebrationsc.org.
And if you've reached out to us or we've worked with us in the past, don't be afraid. If you've fallen off, etc., reach out again and we'll just reestablish the truth that is already within you. We love working one-on-one. It's always a powerful experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Registration is open for the Affirmative Prayer Mastermind. The Affirmative Prayer Mastermind, the first round of 2025, begins on February 5th. This is a 4-week class. The investment for the class is $97. By taking this class and joining this powerful mastermind, you will receive so many different things. First, you will learn to practice a simple time-tested prayer method so that you can pray anywhere, anytime. You will learn to pray for others as you pray for yourself using the mastermind principle. You will unlock the secrets of answered prayer so that you can understand how life is responding to you. You'll discover what is standing in the way of the life you desire and learn to remove it. You'll receive access to the Church Center app so that you can connect with members of the CSC community during class and during the week. You'll have access to a sermon playlist on affirmative prayer. And you will have access to study guides to deepen your practice and understanding of affirmative prayer. You'll have access to the recordings of each week's class, and you will receive support and guidance from me during class and in the Church Center app. Again, registration is open. Class begins on February 5th. That's a Wednesday night for 4 weeks. The investment is $97. You can go to our website, celebrationsc.org/register, or you can use the QR code and that'll take you directly to the registration page. I am so excited about all that will come forth as a result of this class, miracles and answered prayers. Last year's round, we saw healing, the reverse of cancer diagnosis. We saw new homes, new jobs, unexpected checks, peace of mind, so many powerful things that came forth as a result of the mastermind. And I know that this or something better will be taking place as a result of us gathering together for the mastermind. The last day to register is Tuesday, February 4th. You will not be able to register on the day of class. Our series of the month is Hustle and Flow. You can access that series on the homepage of our YouTube channel. It is a powerful series. Tap in, tap in, tap in. If you have a prayer request, you can send that prayer request to Prayer Champions at celebrationsc.org. We are always knowing the truth with you and holding the highest watch with and for you, but we recognize that you may have a specific prayer request. We recognize you may have a specific need or desire and would like us to stand with you in that knowing. Absolutely send in your prayer request. You also may want to send that in on behalf of someone else. All good. And as your prayer is answered, as the miracle unfolds, let us know how prayer is working in your life. Send an email to prayerchampions@celebrationsc.org so that we can celebrate the good that is happening in your life with you. And that concludes our news and updates for this Sunday, which means we now have the wonderful opportunity to tap into the vibration of meditation as we are led in the meditation experience with PY.
Yes. It is time for the meditation experience. We have called it an experience before day one because we understood that We love to learn and study and unlearn and study. But it is only through our direct experience of the God within ourselves for ourselves that we know the things we're reading or hearing are true. Because your interpretation of what you read might be slightly different from mine. But the God within you and the God within me is available no matter what. You don't have to get an A in study to feel the God within you. You just have to close your eyes, take the breath, and allow that connection to be there for you, with you, and through you. It's almost like the energy, the vibration, I love how this screen is moving, is constantly available, constantly rippling out to you. For we are eternally connected to this power. It is not a come and go power. It is not a sometimey God or a sometimey experience of God, if you know it for yourselves. So we take time every Sunday to meditate. And this might be the only opportunity you're finding for yourself. Take full advantage of it now. As we remember our affirmative thought, I am grounded in the prospering power of God. I'm grounded in it. I'm not separate from it. I don't have to do certain things to have access to it. The government can't take it away from me. It is eternally there, and I am grounded in it. Many times when we look out in the world, we lose our focus and our connection, we think, but it is always there. And so when we affirm, I am grounded in the prospering power of God, I am eternally connected to this power. It neither comes nor goes. There is no fear within me that could separate me from this power. And so today, let's open up to that power, shall we? Let's remember where the power is, shall we? Let's allow the power to flow through us, shall we? Let's prepare. Go ahead, find yourself in a comfortable, upright position, seated with your feet on the floor, and just noticing how easy it is just to notice the feet, let them rest nice and easy on the floor, and that begins the process of remembering I'm not separate from my source. I'm grounded in the prospering power of God right here and now. From this place of awareness, plant the palms on the tops of the thighs. Look around the room. Just notice where you are. You're not in the past. You're not worried, contemplating, concerned with the future. You're right here, right now. And you're safe because you're grounded in the prospering power of God. From this awareness, from this feeling of goodness that is flowing through us, let us close our eyelids to the external and drop deeper and deeper and deeper into the eternal. I am grounded. Let's establish that grounding now. Let's feel it from our feet as it anchors us to the earth, and as that energy flows down through the earth, connects to the center of the earth, and then begins to make its way back up through our body and experience. Connecting us with the breath now. Let's just notice that we are in the flow, that we are grounded to the prospering power of God, and that our breath is taking us there now. And whether the breath appears to be deep or appears to be shallow, we make no judgment of the breath. We hold no grievance with the breath, because we understand that the breath is flowing and that each round of breath takes us deeper and deeper and deeper into our awareness and feeling tone of the prospering power of God. Now let's connect not just our feet to the floor, not just the energy flowing through us, but let's connect to each other, knowing that the prospering power of God is moving on our breath now. Take our focus of attention deep into the low belly. And as we send that breath deeper and deeper into the low belly, we feel the connection stronger and stronger. Together, let's inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then let it all fall away as we drop deeper and deeper for a count of 4. Together, inhale, hold for a count of 4, and relax the jaw, release the breath, sigh it out, count of 4. And drop deeper and deeper and deeper into the prospering power of God. In through the low belly again, expanding the low belly, finding more places for that full breath to go. Hold for 4. And relax the jaw, release the tension, sigh it out for 4. And sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, expanding the sides of the body, letting that breath fill up the sides of the body. Hold it there. And release the breath, sigh it out. Let yourself hear you let go. And welcome the silence as you drop and connect deeper and deeper. In through the low belly, we've allowed that breath to fill up the sides of the body, now the front and the back, being a completely open vessel for breath, for the prospering power of God to fill. Hold it there. And without collapsing the body, when you're ready, sigh it out. Sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. In through the low belly, up through the rib cage, now allowing the breath to rise. Full breath all the way in and up through and to the heart chakra. Hold it there. No hurry. We just let go and sigh it out. Sinking deeper, allowing our connection to be even more full as we relax and let go. One more time, in through the low belly, up through and to the heart chakra, across the chest, across the back. Hold it there. And sigh it out. It's almost as if settling in is the most natural thing to do. Settle in deeper and deeper. Beautiful, everyone. Now let's practice a full breath in and all the way up through into the heart, breathing in and out the nostrils. So closing the lips, inhaling and exhaling. Full breath, but slowing it down for a count of 6. Inhale, letting that breath occupy the nostrils and making its way through the body. Hold for 6. And when you're ready, exhale through the nostrils with closed lips. Connecting deeper and deeper and deeper into the silence, but more powerfully into the prospering power of God. Let's take a few rounds on your own, in and out through the nostrils, for this will be our form of breath work for the remainder of our meditative time. I am grounded in the prospering power of God. Nothing and no one can separate me from it. I am anchored in every step I take, every breath I breathe, even every thought I think. The prospering power of God is there. Beautiful, everyone. Let's send this energy that is now grounded in our feet up through the soles of our feet as we relax and feel the power flowing across our ankles now. Feeling that energy shift, feeling it rise as it crosses the shins and the calves. No strain on the shins or the calves, just feel the prospering, healing power of God. Energy flows across the knees now. We bend, we allow, we become more flexible in our acceptance of this prospering power. Relax the knees. We're starting to feel how good relaxation is for the body. Send that energy across the thighs, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Go ahead, relax the thighs, the glutes, and the hamstrings now. And give yourself permission to just surrender the lower half of your body to the chair or the sofa where you're seated. You're held and you're grounded in the prospering power of God. Energy gathered at the base of the spine is unstoppable. We let that energy of prosperous thinking, living, being flow up through from the base of the spine. Inhale, exhale, and allow. Energy flows in and up. Exhale, allow. Energy flowing in and up. Breathing it in through the nostrils, circulating through the body, exhaling through the nostrils and allowing. The softening, the opening, the prospering power of God as it flows in and up, and out the crown of your head. You have become an open channel for the divine to continue its movement, its prosperous nature. Let it flow back down through the crown, across the third eye, down the throat. And gently resting, encouraging the shoulders to relax as it flows down the arms, out the fingertips. From this place of awareness, you can turn the palms up if you'd like to receive more, turn the palms down, leave them there for more grounding. Whatever you choose, know that the power cannot be stopped. It is flowing. From this place of awareness, scan your body one last time. noticing if there's any slight tension anywhere in your body. Make no judgment of it. Send the love and the power of God there so that you can relax and drop deeper and deeper and deeper. I will monitor the time. You take the inward journey, and if the mind wanders, it is okay. It is just doing what the mind does. We make no judgment. We just, when we become conscious, bring ourselves and our awareness back to our affirmative thought. I am grounded in the prospering power of God. You are grounded in the prospering power of God. We are all grounded in the prospering power of God now. With our eyelids still closed, we enjoy this connection. We enjoy the relaxation, and we enjoy knowing that we are grounded in the power, the prospering power of God. With our eyelids still closed, we remember that every step we take this week is connected. Every breath we breathe is connected. Every thought we lovingly think is connected. And with our eyelids still closed, we gently begin to stimulate and awaken our bodies. If the palms are turned up, turn them down. And go ahead and inhale, drawing the shoulders up by the ears. Just that nice elongation. Exhale and release. No rush, just a nice inhale, drawing the shoulders up by the ears. Exhale as we release the shoulder blades gently back and down. And last time, inhale, drawing the shoulders up by the ears. Nice squeeze at the top. Exhale as we release the shoulder blades gently back and down. Stop the movement, settle in. Remembering that we are always connected, bring the palms together at heart center. Thumbs nice and easy into the sternum. Bow the chin towards the fingertips if you are able. Pausing to notice how that energy is flowing down the neck and down the spine. And when you're ready, gently allow the eyelids to open. No strain on the eyes or the experience, no rush. Inhale, raise the chin, raise the gaze. Release the breath. Maintain the power and the peace. Namaste.
Yes, yes, yes. Maintain the peace. Thank you, PY.
You're welcome.
Well, we are in week 3 of our series, Prosper 2025, joy, well-being, connection, abundance. So, of course, we're going to be looking at the word connection today. But before we get into the sermon, we're going to hear from Soul 21. And then I will be with you on the other side with today's sermon, How to Thrive in 2025. I'll see you then. One of the attributes of God that we must come to understand about this presence is that it is omnipresence. Not omnipresent, but omnipresence, meaning that the presence of God is everywhere. The presence of God is with you in the valley, and the presence of God is with you at the top of the mountain. The presence of God is with you when you are in joy, and the presence of God is with you when you are in sadness. The presence of God is with you when you are in mourning, and the presence of God is with you when you are in celebration. It is omnipresence, everywhere at all times, constantly encountered. And because that is true, then we can affirm these words that wherever I am, that's where God is, and all is well. That's where God is. Wherever I am, that's where God is. And so I can affirm that all is well. I'm going to sing that one more time. Wherever I am, I may be mourning, I may be grieving, I may be in sadness, I may be disappointed, I may be frustrated, I may not know what my next move is. Wherever I am, the all that is, the power that will get me out of the situation, the power that will show me the answer, the intelligence, the love, the good is right there where I am. Wherever I am.
is within. God is within. When I'm in a situation, the last thing I want to do is search. All I have to do is go within. God is within. I don't have to look for God. God is within. God is within. And all is well. And all is well. I don't have to look for God. No. God is within. God is within me. I don't have to look for God. God is within. God is within. Quietly. In God we live. In God we live. Use whatever word for God feels good. In love we live, we move and have our being. In good we live, we move and have our being. In joy we live, we move and have our being. Because the thing about God, the I am that I am, it will become whatever you need it to become in the moment that you need it. So when you need healing, in healing we live, in healing we move and have our being. When you need comfort, in comfort I live, in comfort I move, in comfort I have my being. When you need a little more joy, in joy I live, in joy I move, and in joy I have my being. In God we live. God we move, and have our being. So good to know, so good to know where we call home. Yeah. In God we move, and have our being.
Oh, my, my, my. Yes, yes. Wherever I am, that's where God is, and all is well. In God we live, move, and have our being. Oh, that song moves me every time I hear it. I remember the consciousness I was in when I wrote it. So often, many of the songs that I write, it's when that idea finally crystallizes for me, and it kind of bubbles up as a song. And so, uh, coming in contact with the prayer of protection, and the very end of that prayer is wherever I am. That's wherever I am. That's where God is, and all is well. It's rooted in the end of that prayer. And so I'm so grateful and thankful for that prayer. So grateful and thankful for Soul 21 and the CSC band. So grateful and thankful for the power of that song. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. How are you? I know that life is good and it keeps getting better and better all the time. I know that wherever you find yourself, it is good, whatever day, hour, or time it may be. I just want to remind you, and you'll see it throughout this sermon, the opportunity to join our mailing list. If you text welcome to that phone number, 347-472-1078, so that you can join us for the God Talk. Make sure that you check your inbox after you have joined so that you can get the God Talk link and information. Now, before we tap into the sermon, I would love for you to join me in a centering prayer. So if you could please repeat after me. I welcome the Spirit of truth into my mind and let it grow in my heart. Thank you, God, in me, as me, and through me. Amen, Ashe, and so it is. Yes, yes. Well, we are in our sermon series, Prosper 2025, Joy, Wellbeing, Connection, and Abundance. And we began this series with the sermon, I Still Have Joy. Recognizing that joy is something that we must center as we have set the intention to prosper in 2025. And we broke down all of the things that joy is. And of course, joy is unconditional. Joy is not something that happens outside of us or is caused by something outside of us, but is actually an inner expression that is birthed by love. We talked about so many other things as it relates to joy. You can go back to that sermon. It's here on YouTube and tap into that. Last week, the gospel of well-being. As well-being is one of the words for Prosper 2025, we have to understand what well-being is. And of course, well-being is another way to speak of prosperity, because that's really what prosperity is, well-being in every area of our lives. And so I said that the goal then is happiness, health, success, and money. But how we get there is by understanding the 5 pillars of prosperity. And those 5 pillars are 1, prosperity consciousness, 2, God consciousness, 3, prosper on purpose, 4, give and prosper, and 5, prosper together. Again, that message is available on our YouTube channel. I invite you to go back and tap into that. There's so many wonderful things that were shared in that sermon. But today we're focused on the 3rd word, connection. In week 1 sermon, I said that we must be vigilant in expanding our emotional and energetic capacity to change. I said in order to do that, we must keep our nervous systems regulated. We must lean into community. We must give and receive support. And we must take care of our bodies and minds. So this is why connection is an important word for Prosper 2025. Already we can see as we observe the varied responses to the new TikTok ban. Right? Of course, many are understandably disappointed, but those who are disconnected will have and are having an even tougher time with this change. And guess what? More changes are coming. So this is, again, why I said we must be vigilant in expanding our emotional and energetic capacity to change and for change, because change is happening and then more changes are coming. In 2021, we began the year with a 3-part series, Deep Roots. And that 3-part series was based on one of my favorite African proverbs, when the roots are deep, there's no need to fear the wind. This proverb is a proverb about connection. Now, in the third part of that series in March 2021, and this is a series that I strongly encourage you to go back to, Deep Roots, Pray, Meditate, Appreciate, and Rest. I said, as prosperous people, there are 4 things that we must keep in the front of our minds and make habits of our daily lives. And part of that was in response of coming out of 2020 and all that had taken place in 2020 and recognizing that we need to understand how to ground and center ourselves, right? We need to understand how not to be swayed by the winds and waves. We need to develop deep roots so that we do not fear the wind, which is inevitable. And so I encourage you again, Deep Roots, Pray, Meditate, Appreciate, Rest, March 2021. I encourage you to go back to that sermon because there's so many powerful things that were shared there, particularly, and this, for those of you who were a part of that sermon and saw that sermon, that rest sermon was all about outlining the 7 different types of rest and looking at the book by Dr. Dalton Smith, Sacred Rest, right? So there's so many powerful things there. Each of those is about connection. But today, in 2025, the title of our sermon is How to Thrive in 2025. And simply put, without connection, you will not thrive in 2025. Now, you may experience some good, right? Experiencing some good is inevitable, right? The good always gets in, as Abraham Hicks loves to say, right? The rain falls on the just and unjust, right? Rain is a good thing. The sun shines on the just and unjust. Sunshine is a good thing. So will some good take place without connection? Absolutely. But thriving is far different than a little good here and there. So let's go to the Gospel of Merriam-Webster and see what they say about thrive. Now, thrive is a verb. And I love how it's defined. There's 3 different definitions that I think expand our awareness of what it means to thrive. 1, to grow vigorously, flourish. 2, to gain in wealth or possessions, prosper. 3, to progress toward or realize a goal despite or because of circumstances. Remember last week when I talked about the idea that I said you ain't well. If you're not successful, you're not well, right? And I talked about the definition of success, which comes to us through the work of Earl Nightingale, right? That success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. As you can see with this third definition, thrive, to progress toward or realize a goal despite or because of circumstances, that thriving is closely related to success and vice versa. Success is closely related to thriving. But when we dig deeper, and I think this is always helpful because we have these words, we use them, we hear them, thrive in 2025, rhyme, right? I've seen some folks are calling this 2020 thrive, right? Which is wonderful. But we have these words and we may not have the depth of meaning. And so I love how when we dig into the synonyms of thrive, it expands our awareness of what we mean when we say that, or when I say that you cannot thrive without connection. Synonyms for thrive: luxuriate, proliferate, shoot up, germinate, root, sprout, bloom, flower, produce, propagate, regenerate, arrive, flourish, prosper, succeed. And then they even give us a couple of related words that are not direct synonyms, but it puts us in the consciousness and the realm of what we're talking about: prevail, triumph, win, and excel. So I could say you couldn't thrive in 2025 without connection. You ain't going to prevail. You ain't going to triumph. You ain't going to win or excel. You can't luxuriate in 2025 without connection. And as I've already shared this African proverb about deep roots, I'm also reminded of the words of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who famously says, water the root and enjoy the fruit. So if you want to thrive in 2025, if you want to luxuriate in 2025, if you want to sprout, bloom, flourish, prosper, and succeed in 2025, there is an important connection that you must make. And so I'm reminded in A Course in Miracles, the lessons, lesson 47, we read these words: let go all trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind. Reach down and below them to the kingdom of heaven. I'll read that again. Let go all trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind and reach down below them to the kingdom of heaven. In the song I Go Within, I wrote the words, I close my eyes so that I can see more clearly. Meditation is quite possibly the most important connection you must make if you want to thrive in 2025. Now, I know there are lots of people, there are lots of influencers with all kinds of advice and recommendations, and some of them are well-meaning in terms of supporting you and thriving in 2025. But before you can take any of those actions that can lead to positive results, you must first have an inner foundation. Right? What's happening is some of you are taking the advice of folks out there. It's like they're telling you how to build a house, but you never actually dug the foundation and poured the concrete for the foundation. You can build the house, but it won't stand. See, most people are out here making changes in their lives. They're trying to release weight, trying to find a romantic partner, trying to get married, trying to start a business, trying to see profit in their business, trying to have a baby, trying to start a family, trying to buy a home, trying to recover from an illness, and on, but they have no foundation. So what happens? Your results are minimal, or they may be good for a time. They're short-lived. And you don't understand why, which then leads you to blaming and shaming yourself or blaming and shaming others. I want to read the words again from A Course in Miracles in lesson 47. Let go all trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind and reach down and below them to the kingdom of heaven. And this place, this space that A Course in Miracles calls the kingdom of heaven, is not some place up there, out there, or over there. The kingdom of heaven is where? Within you. As the Tao Te Ching says, that's where the world's treasure has always been. And it's interesting because we understand, we have so much language, we understand and know that we can name the chakras and maybe name the colors of the chakras, and you know that this is the crown chakra, right? Well, interesting, crown, kingdom of heaven. In some traditions, this is called the king's chamber, because a kingdom, who or what rules a kingdom? A queen or a king rules the kingdom. And what does a queen or a king wear? They wear a crown. The kingdom of heaven is inside your very own mind. Let go all trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind and reach down and below them to the kingdom of heaven. Where is this kingdom? This kingdom is within you. Where is this kingdom? This kingdom is within your own mind. And that's where the world's treasure has always been. And so there's a book that, oh my goodness, just excites me. It has turned me on with my multi-manifestor group coaching. We're using this text and studying this text. The title is Mind Magic: The Neuroscience of Manifestation and How It Changes Everything, by Dr. James Doty. I'll give you the title again because it's an awesome text. Mind Magic: The Neuroscience of Manifestation and How It Changes Everything, by Dr. James Doty. And one of the things that Dr. Doty brilliantly breaks down is how our autonomic nervous system works. And he breaks down the two branches of that system. We have the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems, and the importance of nervous system regulation to move us out of what he names as fight, flight, or freeze mode, and to move to rest and digest mode. And so in Mind Magic, he writes this about what he calls the green zone of well-being. And remember, as I said last week, prosperity is well-being. We talked about the gospel of well-being. And so the green zone of well-being, he writes, this state of well-being facilitates general health, releases beneficial hormones such as oxytocin that are key to the immune and defense systems, helps with learning, critical thinking, and creativity by enabling the flow state, and basically optimizes the human experience. It is also the state that makes manifesting possible by putting our cortex in the driver's seat. And so one of the things that's interesting here, even if you think about this, as he's talking about this green zone of well-being, as he's talking about nervous system regulation, as he's talking about as we begin to use specific practices to move out of fight, flight, or freeze mode and move into rest and digest mode, it automatically supports our immune and defense systems. See, we spiritualize some of these things. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm healthy because I'm holding consciousness and I know, that nothing can harm me and blah, blah, blah. What if what's going on is by you practicing meditation, by you practicing other techniques, you're regulating your nervous system, which then allows your body, which is a natural healing machine, to do what it was designed to do. And so what if it's not woo-woo? What if it's not magic? What if you're not special? What if it's not about your spiritual intent, right? And you're so holy and so righteous. But what if it's just the practices that you use move you into the green zone of well-being? He goes on. This state brings with it the ability to process our emotions, memories, and plans, which then allow us to be much more thoughtful and discerning in our reactions to our experience. I got to tap into that because, see, I come from the Holiness Church and everybody always talking about, spirit of discernment, and the Lord told me this, and God showed me this, and I got this powerful spiritual discernment. If your nervous system is regulated, your power of discernment is not some holy special power that some people have, some spirit that some people have and other people don't. What if your nervous system is regulated or someone's nervous system is dysregulated for any number of reasons, understandably, and that's why they're not able to process their emotions, memories, and plans. That's why they're not able to be more thoughtful and discerning in their reactions to experience. He goes on. This spacious processing ability is the key to claiming your agency to change how you are going to react to the world itself. When we have choices about how we are going to react, those choices affect our physiology, which then affects how we respond to our environment. One of the things that you've heard me say many, many times is that we hear and affirm things like, I create my reality. Now, here at CSC, we do not teach that you have 100% control of your entire reality. That's foolish. We know that's not true, right? But what we know to be true is that we have agency in and over our lives, and we have far more agency than many have allowed themselves to believe and than you may have believed before. And so we are encouraging you continually to tap into these practices, to tap into this way of being so that you can claim your agency to change how you are going to react or respond to the world itself. And again, he says, when we have choices about how we are going to react, those choices affect our physiology for our good or our detriment, depending on the choices that we make, which then affects how we respond to our environment. And when I read that, it reminds me of how we can understand so much of the state of our world. If you really want to understand the state of this world, think about what I just read. Most people are living in a chronic state of fight, flight, or freeze. As our dear friend Bob Roth puts it, we are living in an epidemic of toxic stress. This is why misinformation is so pervasive and costly. This is why there's so much mistrust and distrust. This is why people vote against their very own interests. This is why there's so much separation and division. And when I'm also reminded of this idea where he talks about our ability to choose how we're going to react, it reminds me, we attended, and this is a wonderful time to just send love to the David Lynch Foundation and to the family and those that love David Lynch who transitioned this past week. But PY and I attended a gala for the David Lynch Foundation. And I remember we were introduced to a group of high school students. And one of the stories that impacted me was a young man who had been in a lot of trouble. And he tells his story. He talks about how he had gotten in a lot of fights and, he was kind of generally angry and, was in a lot of trouble because of that and potentially, facing getting kicked out of school. And the Transcendental Meditation program was brought into his school. He learned to meditate. And he specifically talked about after meditating and after learning this practice, it wasn't that people didn't still piss him off, right? It wasn't like the people that he was trying to fight before. He didn't have those reactions. He said, but I realized I had a choice. And so finally, what began to happen is everything slowed down for him as he regulated and balanced his nervous system, right? And balanced the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now he realized, I have a choice. And that choice is how I'm going to react to the world. I realize there's an outcome if I go down path A, and there's an outcome if I go down path B. And he chose the outcome that was beneficial. He chose the outcome that was constructive. And so this is why I'm a huge advocate of the Transcendental Meditation technique. Now, there are lots of types of meditation, and each of them bring results. But the thing about Transcendental Meditation that's specific and unique is it falls in its own category of automatic transcending. There are a lot of other techniques. I'm thinking about a former colleague of mine who had tapped into, I believe it was her and her sister, were doing mindfulness, and they had spent money to go through a lot of training, and she was talking about how hard it was, right? There's powerful, beautiful benefits from mindfulness techniques and mindfulness training, right? But it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of time, and it can be strenuous, right? There are other techniques that I love to say that you want to make sure whatever you're practicing, that it's analog, right? Because what if you don't have your phone? What if you can't connect to Wi-Fi, right? The Calm app is wonderful, but if you can't connect to the app, right, or something's going on, right, now you can't tap into that vibration of meditation. So one of the other things that I love about Transcendental Meditation is that you can do it anywhere, anytime. It is analog. You don't need an app or device to do it. There are things you can use to support that technique via an app, but you don't need it. And so the connection you make by practicing TM provides deep rest. And this deep rest is not about helping you manage stress. This deep rest releases stress from your body. It supports you in putting your body into that space that I just spoke about for your body to do what it naturally does. Your body is a healing machine. I don't know if you ever knew that. And so that's also why, again, Dr. Doty says those choices affect our physiology. Your body responds, your cells responds. And we get into the conversation of epigenetics. I'm going to talk a little bit about Dr. Joe Dispenza. We understand that the things that we do turn on and off certain things within our body, turn on things that lead to well-being and turn off things that would do the opposite. And so as it releases stress from your body, you can slowly but deliberately move from fight, flight, or freeze and approach life from a rest and digest place, or better put, a connected way of being. Now, I just mentioned Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you tap into You Are the Placebo and the meditations that he provides, it's the same outcome. Again, it may take longer in terms of the process, and you need to have the specific meditations, and you have to have the time to move through those meditations, which can take a while. But the results speak for themselves. And we recognize that what it is doing is supporting you in nervous system regulation. Now, another powerful and accessible method is the Silva mind control method. And by mind control, that's not about controlling other minds. That's one of the things that people often make the mistake when they hear that. The Silva mind control method is about learning to control your own mind, because that's the only mind you can ever truly control. You can learn the Silva techniques in person or through the Silva app, which you can download from any of the app stores. There's also a wonderful home study course that you can tap into on Audible. So if you have an Audible subscription or you use Audible, just make sure you search for the Silva Method Home Study Course by Robert B. Stone, which is done in connection with Jose Silva. The thing that I love about the Silva Method, it is not automatic in the same way that TM is. However, what I love is that through the regular daily practice, what you are doing is relaxing and regulating your nervous system to experience this green zone of well-being that Dr. Doty is writing about in Mind Magic. And like TM, with daily practice, your body begins to acclimate to this experience of deep rest, to this experience of relaxation. And so then you can access that inner calm anywhere, any place. And so similarly, there are analog, non-Wi-Fi app related methods that you can learn through the Silva Mind Control technique that you can tap into anywhere at any time. Now, another thing and another way to tap into the reality of connection, understanding that connection is how we're going to thrive, affirmative prayer is another way to connect. Yes, yes. Hello, somebody. For those of you that have been joining us this month in our weeks of prayer, now the past 2 weeks, in 60 Meditations for a Mindful Life by Ernest Holmes, in the first week, we read this line almost every day in the readings. Ernest Holmes says, prayer is our direct line of communion. Communion is another word for connection with God. Through affirmative prayer, we learn to clear our minds of negative thoughts, of doubt and fear. This we must do if we are to become aware of the presence of God within and around us. And so when he's talking about this idea of clearing our minds of negative thoughts, of doubt and fear, this is another way of saying or talking about regulating our nervous system. Because if your minds are full of negative or unwanted thoughts of doubt and fear, there's no way you can see the whole picture. I have this sort of thing in my mind that's been coming back to me over the past week. Imagine if you had a glass and you filled that glass with sand, and then you attempted to pour water in it. Now we know, you pour water in a glass or some liquid, but because there's sand, not much liquid would get in. I mean, the sand would absorb some of the water, but you would actually, water would start to spill out almost as quickly as you started to pour it. Yes, yes. Now say you moved out half of the sand out of that glass and then tried to pour water. Well, yeah, then you would be able to get some water in, but still not that much. You wouldn't fill the glass because it still has sand in it. Now, of course, once you finally release all of the sand, rinse that glass out and make sure there's not a grain of sand in it, now you can freely, easily, and effortlessly pour the water in. And so this is what this connection and this communion of prayer is doing when we talk about clearing our minds of negative thoughts, of doubt and fear. We close our eyes to the external and open them to the eternal. We make conscious contact with the divine through affirmative prayer. We pray not to get things, we pray and become the thing. Now, you all may know I love to quote Emerson, where he says that prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest point of view. And so often on the Wednesday prayer, I begin by saying, let us move on up a little higher, right? Pointing back to that quote. But there's something else even more powerful or equally as powerful that Emerson writes in that paragraph in his essays, the first series. He writes, prayer as a means to effect a private end is a meanness and theft. It supposes dualism and not unity in nature and consciousness. As soon as one is at one with God, they will not beg. And what he is encouraging us to understand and what he is underscoring in this is the reality that prayer is really and only for, and affirmative prayer is not to get things. It's not to ask for things. Again, that's what we say in affirmative prayer. We don't beg, we don't barter, we don't borrow, we don't make deals with God, we don't barter. Prayer is not for God. Prayer changes things because prayer changes me, right? This connection through prayer supports us in realizing what I read earlier from Mind Magic. This spacious processing ability is the key to claiming your agency to change how you are going to react to the world itself. When we have choices about how we are going to react, those choices affect our physiology, which then affects how we respond to our environment. So again, when you make that conscious contact, when you make that conscious communion, when you come into the reality and the awareness of the presence of God, when you go down and below to the kingdom of heaven, as A Course in Miracles says as we read it, right? Moving away from the surface and going down to the truth of who and what you are, it affects your physiology. It affects your choices. When you change your response changes. When you change, how you choose changes. When you change, what you see changes. Prayer changes things because prayer changes me. And prayer is connection. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. And again, I want to say that again, that we do not pray to get things. We pray and we become the thing. If you want to thrive in 2025, if you want to luxuriate in 2025, if you want to sprout, bloom, flourish, prosper, and succeed in 2025, there is an important connection you must make. Course in Miracles, lesson 47 again says, let go all trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind and reach down and below them to the kingdom of heaven. All that we experience in the external world is trivial compared to the internal, eternal world. As I was listening to Spirit and preparing this message, I kept hearing Spirit sing to us through Michael Jackson, relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. Hear Spirit saying that, lay back and groove with my mind. That my mind that has already figured it out. Lay back and groove with my mind that already knows the answer, the way out, the way through, the way over, the way under, the way around. Lay back and groove with my mind. Relax your mind. As I was hearing and listening to Spirit in this message, I heard Tribe Called Quest, Spirit rhyming through Tribe Called Quest, electric relaxation. Relax your mind. Relax yourself, girl. Settle down. Please settle down. Spirit is calling us to a new experience of us. And that requires connection. And when we connect to our full possibility. When we connect, we change our physiology. Meditation and prayer are not simply spiritual practices that every good spiritual seeker practices or should practice. We don't meditate or pray to get an A. PY said the very same thing in the meditation experience today. To be approved by the universe or the God of your understanding, or to get things. Meditation and affirmative prayer are a means to a definite and practical end. Think about your own life. The more regulated you've become, the more integrated this way of being has become in your life, the more effortless and easy manifestations have become. It's just automatic. This year, we are going to do more than just survive. We will thrive and prosper 2025. And in order to thrive, we must make an important connection. In order to thrive, we must close our eyes to the external and open our minds to the eternal. And for this truth, I am so very grateful. I am grateful for the connection. I am grateful for the kingdom of heaven that lies within us. I am so grateful that there is something that's available to us that is side effect free. There's something that's available to us that we can use it and practice it no matter where we are, any place, any time. I am so grateful and thankful for this ancient and yet new spiritual technology that's available to us. I'm so grateful and thankful for the scientific awareness and studies that support us in understanding what's going on at a neuroscientific level. Because then we know it's not about specialness. Then we know it's not about somebody being uniquely anointed by God. But it simply requires our very own willingness. And so to that I say, amen, ashe, and so it is.
Isn't it good to know that you are really equipped to thrive in 2025?
Yes, yes.
That all you have to do is access this technology, this ability to go beneath all of the things that bubble on the surface and tap into the answers. It ain't on TikTok them giving you little sound bites of what they think you should do, be, and have. It is the truth that is underneath the surface that's already there within you.
Yes, yes.
And so you are equipped to thrive in 2020. And if you don't practice meditation, time to start. Because you will need to regulate your nervous system. If you have never thought about it before, the thing that makes you jump to conclusions, the thing that makes you jump into fear, the thing that makes you worry and doubt, the thing that keeps you up at night is a dysregulated nervous system. That you have interpreted as the problems out there. When we regulate, we get to integrate the truth of our being. Let's live from that. Let's know that we can thrive. We have the tools, and if we don't, we acquire the tools, not somebody else's opinion of what we should do. It's within us, the kingdom of heaven. Its knowledge is eternal, and it is flowing through us now. But you can't hear it or access it when you are dysregulated.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Peachy.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, well, in this moment, it is time for giving. You see the information on your screen now. You've seen it throughout the stream. It's very easy to give to CSC. You can go to our website, celebrationsc.org/give, or you can text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500. There is a $10 minimum for a text to give. What we know to be true and what we will continue to teach here at CSC is that as you give, you receive. There is a law of circulation. There is a law of compensation. And we recognize that the measure that we give is the measure that we receive. We also recognize that if our hand is closed, we can't receive. When our hand is open, that means that we have given something so that then we are open and available to receiving. And so that is the consciousness by which we give to CSC, the space where we are spiritually fed. That is the consciousness by which we circulate our funds throughout our life, recognizing the truth of this circulatory process that is happening all the time. And so from this place of awareness, then we affirm this truth. All the money that I circulate, returns to me multiplied.
In
a never-ending cycle.
Of
increase. And enjoyment. To that we say amen.
Amen.
Ashe. And so it is.
And so it is.
Yes. Well, we have reached the end of our weekend service for today. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. We're so grateful grateful for the consciousness of CSC. And of course, we indeed are walking out of this service better than when we came in, regardless of what that looked like. We are prospered and prospering. Today is God Talk Sunday, so we're excited that in just about 30 minutes, we will be gathering together for the God Talk at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to join us for the God Talk, let me put that information up on the screen. If you're not already on, well, first, if you are on our mailing list, go to the Friday email
That just went out.
right, that went out this past Friday, or any of the Friday emails from this month, and scroll to the section that has the God Talk information. There's a button. There's also the details for the Zoom link for the God Talk. That's where you'll get the Zoom link. If you are not on the mailing list or cannot find the email for some reason, then text welcome to this phone number, 347-472-1078. Enter your name and your email address. Very important. Once you submit and you've received a message that you are all set, then check your inbox, because you'll receive an email with the God Talk info for 2025. And again, remember, there is a new link for this year, so please do not use the old link from last year, because you'll be there by yourself.
I was going to say, we won't be in there.
Yeah, right, unfortunately. So for those of you that are joining us for the God Talk at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll see you in a few. If you're not able to join us for the God Talk, then we look forward to you joining us tomorrow as we tap back into the Momentum Prayer Call. And if you're unable to join us for the prayer call throughout this week, then of course we will all be back together next Sunday for the fourth Sunday, Healing Sunday, and as we continue this Prosper 2025 series looking at the final word, abundance. We love you. We appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Please stay safe. I know there's snow coming and it's different in different regions. There's also very frigid temperatures. So take care of yourself. Stay warm, and we will connect very soon. All right. Bye for now.
Bye for now.